Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up and Dream. I'm Kelly Armstrong, and I'm here with my gals, Lisa and Sarah. And today's episode is going to be all about decisions. I know decisions can be extremely difficult for a lot of us, myself included. So I will admit this was an extreme learning process for me over the last few days as I was preparing this episode for our listeners, for you to kind of dig in with me, ask those hard questions to then make the decision necessary to really move forward in your life. Because being on the fence, feeling stuck is exhausting. It's more exhausting than actually making the decision to do something or not do something. It wastes so much quality and important time in your life when we can give you the tools to make the decisions and move forward. So, first off, the very first question I want to ask you is, do you want the best for you? Literally, the first decision you need to make today, as you're listening to this podcast, is, do you want the best for you? And I'd never really heard this question presented in this way. I can't take credit. It's from the Miss Mel Robbins, and she's absolutely amazing. And I was listening to a short little blurb from her podcast, and it was like, wait, I mean, I know what I want to do, and who I want to be, but do I want the best for me? And so I'm asking that question to you, our listeners, is, do you want the best for you? Because I know we have all these decisions of, what should I do? What's next in my life? How will I make this happen? Do you know we make 35,000 decisions a day? That is a lot for our brain, our hearts, our emotions to make sure we don't screw up one of them, right? So we have the little decisions like, our alarm goes off. Do we get out of bed or do we hit snooze? Do I wear heels today or loafers? Do I make eggs for the kiddos for breakfast or pancakes? Like, these are the little decisions that we feel don't really have a big impact, that aren't difficult to make, that aren't going to change the world and your children's lives, really. Let's be honest. However, they were at one time, right? Like, we had to learn and make that an easy decision subconsciously without even really making it an issue. And so we can do that same thing with our now goal. Because if you have this massive now goal to write a book, go back to school, I've used in past episodes, even the goal is that dream vacation of taking your family camping, right? And a decision had to be made to save that money to be able to do that. And having that decision made will catapult you into that now goal, because all the decisions that you make from here on forward will help you reach that goal subconsciously without actually thinking about, oh my gosh, this is life or death in reaching my goal. But making those decisions on a daily and making them a habit, just like getting out of bed and not hitting the snooze button, will completely change your life because of the thoughts that we are putting out there towards our goal. This all happens literally with a decision of, do you want the best for you? It's time to wake up, start dreaming. Sarah mentioned last week on the episode of, it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to make the decision that this is what you truly, truly want, and that your thoughts are so important. One thing that helped me when I was going through our infertility struggle and the depression was creating that peace and clarity. When our life is a mess and there's things everywhere, whether it's actual physical craziness and your house is array and there's things everywhere and it's just cluttered and it makes you feel claustrophobic, or maybe it's the thought, it's like what you're seeing on social media. We all need it, we all see it, but if you can control what you're taking in, this helped me immensely. Stop following people that aggravate you. Stop. If you have to unfriend someone or unfollow for 30 days, 60 days because they're just posting, stuff you don't agree with, maybe it's political, maybe they're always negative, they're always complaining, stop hanging out with those people. They are clouding your mind and your clarity to see what you really want because you're shuffling all their thoughts and their feelings, and you're not making the decision that you matter. When I started making these changes and even listening to different types of music, I listened to only Christian music, and I turned up the volume when my son was at school and just started to dance around the living room. Like, I felt alive and in control of my next thought, how I was going to feel throughout the day. And then doing that repetitively, it became a decision every single day that I knew that this was a special step that I needed to get out of the depression and stop worrying about the infertility, and moving forward and creating a life for myself, for our family, and to set that example for my son, because I was not going to live in fear. And sometimes there's two things when we're trying to make a decision that will send us left or right, backwards, wherever. It's the fear and it's the not knowing how to do it. Like, oh my gosh, I want to write a book, but where would I even start? What would I do? And that, like, well, I don't know how to do it, so let's stop here. But I want to tell you, one, fear is a liar. We don't need him. You don't need him. He is false. And two, if you hang around the three of us here, Wake Up and Dream, we will show you how to do it, because it's not about the doing. We like to say, what do I do? What do I do? What do I need to learn? What's next? What's next to make this decision, true. For us, it's the being. You have to show up in a way that, like we've kind of mentioned this before, that you've already reached this goal, that you have already lost the 20 pounds. What decisions is that woman making to reach that goal? If you already knew you were 20 pounds lighter, or that you were already on that camping trip, or you have already written that book, how would that person show up? How would you show up in making the best life for you? If you hear a friend tell you, I ran across this story. I actually used an article. It's called Decision by our guy, Bob Proctor, which we will also have in our Facebook group, Wake Up and Dream. If you haven't joined us there, we will have that link in the show notes as well. We'd love to have you there. That's where we kind of expand more on these thoughts and ideas of reaching our goals. But he had this short little story of, the next time you hear a friend say, gosh, I would really like to go to Paris, or I really want to buy a new car, but I don't think that'll ever happen because I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to find enough money for that. Well, the decision was already made that they're not willing. So technically, the decision hadn't been made. If you knew that you wanted to go to Paris, decision made, in 2 years, you were going to make that dream trip happen, every decision after that would go towards that goal. So you're sitting at the mall, right? And you're like, I need a new pair of shoes. I like to run. That's my time for myself. I need a new pair of tennis shoes. Do you grab the $80 pair of shoes or the $180 shoes? Because in the back of your mind, you are reaching a goal to have your dream vacation in Paris. So that goes back to, do I get out of bed or hit the snooze button? Those decisions will become a lot easier once you've made the ultimate decision, the ultimate goal to get there, to make the Paris trip happen. You have to have those little things every single day, because you see yourself in that fancy outfit and your cute little purse at the cafe and the pebble stones outside, and you hear everybody's heels click, click, click. Those are the future memories that keep this decision and this goal alive. You have to feel it. You have to breathe it. And being around positive energy and not negative energy is key. So if you want to keep your goal to yourself, that's absolutely fine. Because if you know that you're kind of surrounded by, family or friends that aren't dreamers, that don't have big goals, don't cloud it. Don't cloud it. It's okay to unfollow somebody. It really, truly is. They'll never know. Like, start listening to the right music, read the right books, fill your heart and your mind with just amazing things, because that peace and that clarity is key. So, again, I want to ask you, do you want the best for you? The decision has to be made. And that's the first one. If you don't have that now goal that we've kind of talked about, the three of us here on previous episodes, it's time. It's time to ask yourself, what do you want? And do you want the best? Do you want to sit here and just, oh my gosh, it's this with my kids again, or oh, my spouse that, or my boss? Do you want the best for you? And take that next step. Because once you've made that decision, I promise you, that next step will be revealed. You don't know how to write that book. Absolutely not. But you know what you're going to start using your phone for instead of scrolling through Facebook and Instagram? You're going to start researching who can teach you all the things. What free master classes are out there? I already know 2 or 3 people that I could give you right now that can teach you how to write a book. And you dive into that and you Google all the things. That's what your phone is for. That's what the internet is for your goals, not to start comparing yourself to, like, the three of us, all life coaches. We're not comparing ourselves to the coaches next to us, right? All three of us bring something amazing to the table and to our clients, and that's what makes us unique. And don't feel disempowered by that, because you're not doing it the way someone else is. Sarah, Lisa, and I have been with our same coach, Julie Ciardi, for about the same amount of time. We've learned the same ideas, the same passions, the same 1, 2, 3s, all the things. We're all certified, but all three of us are doing it a little bit different. And that's okay. That is totally okay to do it your way. It's so important, but you need to make the decision for yourself and for your future and for your kiddos. It is so important. I challenge you, if anything, just start journaling today about, do you want the best for you? Start there if you don't have your now goal, and just start dreaming. Start dreaming again. That's where Sarah and Lisa and I, have gotten to where we were. We started with network marketing and things have just evolved. And that's the amazing thing about life. But when you're going through the journey, you're going through the goals, you learn and grow so much, and you can share that with other people. So I'll open it up now to Lisa and Sarah, my favorite gals in the whole world. Sarah, do you want the best for you?
Oh my God, I love that question. I was writing notes as you were talking, but I only have like these mini sticky notes. So now I have like 10 of them all over my desk. So many good things that you were just sharing. And one of the things that stood out to me, that I feel like I hadn't thought about, was when you were talking about unfollowing and being careful with what you're letting in, making the decision that, do you want the best for you, and what that could, like, the downstream, when you confirm that, yes, I do want the best for me, the downstream decisions that come from there. You said something along the lines, because again, I don't have enough space on these post-it notes to write all of the words you were saying, but to tune others out because you matter. And that hit me, because I feel like when you're going through and you see something that someone's posting that doesn't align with your values, you almost feel bad. Like, I don't really want to unfollow my aunt. Like, she's nice, but like, unfollow your aunt or block her or whatever, because you matter and you still love her. And like, it doesn't take anything away from her. It's nothing personal against her, but you made the decision that you want the best for you. And in making that decision, you need to protect your energy and what you're letting in. And that's your responsibility to do that. It doesn't matter. Like, don't take that, like, as a, a dig at that person. It's not, has
Mhm.
nothing to do with that person. It has
Mhm.
everything to do with you. I've just loved that.
Right. And don't take it lightly. It's a huge decision for you and your future. You can either keep doing the same things you're doing and get the same results, or what if we tried something different? What if we tried something new, some other concept, some other passion, some other way of doing life every single day? I want to reference again Mel Robbins because it really lit me up about starting your day. There's so many morning routines, and we've kind of talked about a few, but there was just 3 little steps that helps her in the day to just start off on the right foot. One, do not hit that snooze button. Make sure you have that cell phone over in the bathroom where you would actually have to get up and get your day started. I can't remember exactly what she said. I could post the podcast because I love just referencing amazing women to go back and listen to her podcast. She was also on the Today Show. But there's something in your brain that happens when you hit that snooze button and how you start to function the rest of your day. The next one is right away, make your bed because that triggers your brain that you've already accomplished something. So you've already done something on your to-do list and you did it and you completed it. And then the third thing, head to the mirror. You can brush your teeth, wash your face, do the thing. Give yourself a high five. Because what is a high five? When I say high five, what does that mean to you? You're always like congratulating someone. You're always saying, way to go. You're awesome. You never say high five, you're ugly, or high five, you're a loser, or high five, you're never going to reach your goal. That's not what high five is. So if you look in the mirror, you smile at yourself and you give yourself a high five, that already pumps you up for the day that you're amazing. And it's that positive affirmation that you can do it and take on the day. So I thought those were just some really cool, just quick, within 3 minutes, all 3 of those things can happen and change the whole trajectory of your whole day, which is absolutely amazing.
I was just thinking quickly before Lisa jumps in, I was just had a visual in my head about like me getting out of bed and making my bed, but my husband is still in the bed. So I just had that visual of like, sure, I can check that off the list, but Jared might still be there.
You can do your side of the bed, right? Fluff the pillows and
no, honey. Mel Robbins said, I need to make my bed.
I have to make my bed, so.
If you can't breathe, no, I'm just kidding.
Too bad.
Oh, that's funny. That is so funny. The visuals. I was talking with a acquaintance friend yesterday, and we put on our Facebook group, share your if fear wasn't a thing, what would you do, right? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? And this kind of ties into this because, you mentioned fear as what stops us from thinking the best about what we want, right? What is it? And I think fear plays such a role that we're not fully aware of it most of the time, because just like the 35,000 decisions that we make subconsciously now, we also have a subconscious belief system or habits of how we think about fear and how fear interacts and plays a role in our thinking, in our lack of decision, in our decisions to not do something, or to hold back. We've got that running. And yesterday in this conversation that I had kind of offline, it was just like obvious because I could relate to her, because it was like, I feel like if I said my big dream out loud, that it's like scary, because like I don't think I'm worth that big dream. Like it boils down at its like core, your question, Kelly, like, do you want the best for you? And I think that's really, really intertwined with, do I think I'm worth it? Like that would be the other, like, sub question off of that question. At first blush, do you want the best for you? Well, of course, like we're all going to say, of course we want the best for me. I want the best for me. Like I'd be stupid and silly not to answer that. Like I want the best for me. Right. But then if we peel the onion back, like what is my reality? Like I can think I want the best for me, but is my
Mhm.
reality and my thoughts and my feelings and my belief system in alignment with my answer of yes, I want the best for me?
And the
And when we
decisions that you're making, like, is that in line with
right,
that?
right.
Exactly. Yep.
And I
Mhm.
think that onion peeling it back to go, so, and I asked her, we were dialoguing in Messenger, and I said, so I want to know the story. Like if there's, that feeling of fear because at the core, you don't, you've always played small, right? Especially we as women, like it's not that we play small, but our roles as mom, right? We just automatically put others' needs above our own. We automatically, do all the things that need to get done. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. That's not what I'm saying in our relationships. But I think the propensity, um, it can get lopsided, right? We can go into a conversation with a small group of people, and our thought can be, well, my voice doesn't matter. I'm just going to listen because I want them to feel like I am concerned and care about their dreams and their hopes and all of their aspirations. But if they don't ask me about mine, I'm not going to speak up. I think that is like a little bit of this, underlying belief system that may be rooted in worthiness, maybe rooted in fear, but it's there. And I think these are the things when you're saying, journal, these are the things that I'm going to be journaling about. These are the things that I would like encourage. Peel the onion back. If you have any hesitation in answering, do you want the best for you? Why? What is it? All of that. So this is what our Facebook group is all about. Like I'm excited because I feel like we're making connections, personal connections with the people in that group. And I love it because we get to come alongside you. We get to come alongside you and help you to uncover some of these questions that maybe you've never asked yourself before. Maybe you've never felt safe to admit that, yeah, I don't think I think I have a belief that says I'm really not that important, or I'm not, other people's dreams. I'm not, I'm just here to help other people make their dreams happen. If that's you, be sure to join our Facebook group because this is where we're digging in and helping you and encouraging you in that supportive environment that I love our Facebook group. Let's just call it what it is. It's so good. Such good stuff. So love this episode, Kelly. What do you want the best for you? And we're going to continue in our Facebook group talking about this and digging deeper. So please join us over there. But until next week, we encourage each and every one of you to wake up and dream. You're worth it.